Today we're just taking a look at the Kenwood TS120v, and this is sort of the stuff that you love to find. By the way, I'm just injecting a signal into it at the moment. I'm putting a load of microvolts into it just to give us a little bit of noise, and we can see that it's receiving, etc, etc. The 120v, becoming harder to find. This one's reasonably clean, to be honest, and we're talking about the subject of pickers and picking radios, and that's a new concept we decided to introduce to for a bit of fun. But what we're really trying to decide is, what's a radio worth collecting and what's a radio that's worth, maybe not collecting. And the 120 range, whether it's the 120V or 120S, or the 130 range, 130S, 130V, 100 watts with the S and 20 odd watts with the V, supposed to peak 30, but haven't seen that happen for a while. Look, great radios. The MC 35S, sorry, was where did I get 43? That comes off a TS430. MC 35S, and lovely radios, known for their distinctive click that you'll hear on air, and not bad. So basically, let's just see what it does on transmit, because of course that's what we're sort of a little bit interested in. So let's have a look. We're on the 10 watt scale at the moment. Let's turn the generator off so we've got rid of that noise. And hello 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Hello test 1 2. Hello. Yeah, my whistle's terrible. Audio. The new word's audio, isn't it? Anyway, about 20 watts coming off that there. So not bad, not bad at all. But we've got a little trick, and I'll just show you something. I'll just go to pause for a second. Okay, so this is the same 130V, 120V. Gee, I'm going to wake up one day. And let's just have a look at what she's doing. Hello. Oh, wow, look at that. Hello. So we're getting good 100 watts out of a 120V. Must be like a button or something you push, that's something that makes it do that. Not quite. What does it is, what's sitting under here is this little beauty. And these are fantastic. This is the TL120 amplifier, probably the prize thing that all of us want to collect. I can put it all next to it now, make it all look sort of nice. Of course, that gives us that extra 80 watts odd to 20 watts into here, gives 100 watts there basically. And nice amplifier. Certainly, as you change the span switch, you'll need to change the span switch here, etc., to get your 100 watts. And basically 1 2 3, hello 1 2 on 20 meters, hello. As you can see, these little amplifiers were great little beasts. And now we've got all the speakers and I've got the DFC 230 and all the bits that go with this, but I just thought I wanted to show you the TL120 amplifier against the 120V, and just how well they do work. They're an exceptional amplifier, especially for people that are maybe looking, they might be running FT817s, 703s, etc., QRP radios, and you're just looking for that extra boost. Well, the TL120 will do that every day. But to me, they always look great together. They just really do. They're a fantastic looking combination. I'm going to show you the other thing we look for whenever we're trying to find something. And this is what we're really, really after most times. Boxes, books, etc. They're really... I understand you're not going to get something often that it hasn't been marked in some way, but... to be able to get some boxes for these original bits and pieces, that's really what this, when we brought up the concept of picking, that's what you're looking for. Finding a Kenwood TS120S is not hard. Finding one with books, and I'm saying the S there because the S is probably the most common model. Finding the V, 120V and 130V, gets a little bit harder again. This is actually another 130 sitting down here, and I'll actually be doing a video on these bits and pieces here. So if you can see what they are, they're long wire insulators, and a wonderful gift. But I'm going to do a special video on that. That came from Marty, VK2 Tango Yankee, and he does some fantastic work with his 3D printing. But more to follow on that. So yeah, that's what we're looking for generally. We'd really like to see, boxes, books, radio working, etc., etc. So did this TS120v do everything it should have from the moment we got it here? The previous owner is a good mate of mine too, very, very good mate of mine, had noticed that the dial lights needed replacing, so we quickly replaced the dial lights. It had a slight little PLL problem, and Kev, my mate, wouldn't have noticed it. It's one of those ones that, you know, we're used to seeing, and a little touch up. There was a dry joint in the PLL board, but then we just touched up the VCO edges, and which is your band edges on each of these. So what was happening was around 14, even higher, 14050, the display was flicking off and gone. Now here, that's normal to do what it's doing there. But when it flicks off on the edges, it's a PLL VCO fault. And generally, people don't notice it because they tend to use certain bands. They don't tend to always be, using every band. And this particular fault only affects certain bands. So it was kind of good to be able to just say, yep, know that fault. Luckily, my Jensen Electronics apprentice days sort of helped a bit there. We did a lot of Kenwoods back in the day. Anyway, that's pretty much the Kenwood TS120v on the dummy load. Just hang on.
Yeah, mate, yeah, well, I'm going to leave a guide wire. All I've got to do, I just cut a piece off, and I don't have to cut a piece off, cut the beam off, and just extend it a bit to put the rotator on.
Okay, so we've got a few of the boys, not sure of the time actually, but might be getting close to the Candos net. And they're on the 7093. And coming in quite nice. Remember, these radios no preamps, so what you read on here is probably, in my experience, a little low. Let's turn that down a little bit. It can be a little bit low, and you certainly can adjust that a bit if you want to. But I reckon they read about, their calc for how many microvolts for S9. I reckon sometimes it's out by about half an S point or so. So there's not much in it. It's really, I look at a signal and see it as an 8, and sometimes I think, oh, he sounds stronger. Like Kev up there in Lightning Ridge, I think that's more of an S8 to S8.5. But look, I'm splitting hairs. So there you go. That's how they all come up. And as I said, no big deal in sorting out a few little issues. What the big deal is getting gear that is clean and that has suffered very little damage over the years. Another point of the TL120 amplifier, which I really like, is that on the back here, all your switching, all your ALC is taken care of, but also let's turn these guys down, so is the power supply connection for the radio. So you basically have got a 12 volt out that handles the radio, and the whole thing switches together then perfectly, which is nice. And you've got all your switching lead, ALC, etc., RF input, RF output. So they really did think the TL120 out. Obviously, it's meant to go with the 120 range. Nothing wrong with sorting the switching out and going and putting out to another radio. That can certainly happen. But where do they look best? Next to the 120V and the 130V. We'll do a review on the 130V and some of the differences a little bit later on, but certainly good to. Now, I must explain, the antenna we've got on here, out here in the workshop here, is averaged at best. Nothing compared to the 40-meter beams and stuff in the other room that we use down the hill a bit. Look, it's proving itself to be quite reasonable. Not a lot on 40 meters at the moment, but some. There you go, a few more people there on 097.5. And back onto 093. There we go. Okay, so this here came from South Australia. Boxes, books. It's actually got the extension speaker. I should have put that there as well, just to show you that. But you can imagine what the extension speaker looks like. There you go, Kev's picked S9 just about there. He's definitely an S9. That's why I say I might just adjust that meter just a tad. Sometimes you do things by ear, not by microvolts. It just makes more sense. All right, the 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike. This is officially our first pickers video, because this is the first thing that's come in from a AAA, and actually going and meeting people and seeing people, and that was the joy. We met so many people. I think there was 12 different people that we caught up No, sorry, 12 one day. Sorry, another 3, 4 on that. So 16 people over a period of 2 days of picking up loads and loads of stuff. And loads and loads of stuff. That's some of it over there. But God, I don't even want to go into that yet. We've got so much unpacking to do, and there's more left in the car yet to go. 73s from VK3CM. Hope you're enjoying some of this stuff, and certainly come up on the Aussie Radio Pickers Facebook site, and feel free to put up anything that you've found, that you've been playing with, that you think's of interest, because let's all just make sure it's a bit of fun and enjoy. 73s.